Hi everyone, I'm Suzanne and we're going to do a beginner's level class today. So it's going to be mainly focused on stretch and release and tension release. They're really good for if you suffer with anxiety and things like that. And also we're going to focus quite a bit on the breath. So let's start. We've got a few props that we're going to use. So either you can have a couple of towels folded up, or if you have a big blanket at home, that's really good as well. And then just a hand towel like so, and lay it down and let's roll it, depending on how big your hand towel is, about 2 or 3 times, so you can kind of make a thin kind of cord with it. Okay, and just pop that to the side and we'll use that in a moment or so. So grab your couple of towels or your big blanket and take a seat on it. And if that doesn't feel quite right for you, or you'd like it to be a little bit higher if you've got quite long legs, I like it that little bit higher, then just fold it over again for yourself. Okay, and we're going to start with just some breath. So we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So let's breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now breathe in for 5. And out for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, and keep that going. In for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out for 7. And keep that going for yourself. And just go in and out all the way up to number 10 if you can. So breathing in and out. Counting yourself down and in and out. You're going to keep going. When you breathe in, try not to breathe too forcefully right at the beginning. So a nice, smooth, controlled breath in will be better, because you'll be able to inhale for a lot longer. And then exhale. Two more. Keep that going, breathing into the lungs, really feeling the expansion out and forward, and even in the tummy, let it all go. One more time, big breath in, aim for 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great work. If you got it, and out. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so if you weren't able to make it all the way up to 10, that's totally normal. Good for you for wherever you got to. Just keep practicing that, and the more you practice at it, the better you'll get at it, the bigger your lung capacity will become. And it's a really great technique to use to de-stress, focus, and start the next activity for yourself with a lot more focus and release. I don't know about you, but I already feel more relaxed. So let's just put our towels or your blankets off to the side, because we won't need them for a little while. And you're just going to lay down on your back now, and we're going to have a look at how the pelvis is going to kind of move here. So if you could place your hands, let's put the fingers on the bony landmarks at the front of the hips, and then wrap your thumbs around the back of the pelvis. And breathe in and roll your pubic bone and tailbone around as the lower back kind of draws towards the ground. And exhale, you're going to go into what we call an anterior tilt. you'll feel your lower back come off and the tailbone draw down towards the ground. Good, and just keep that flowing for yourself, breathing in, and you can kind of coerce the pelvis with your hands. And exhale all the way over and through and onto the tail. And don't be concerned with that being a big arch in the back as you do that. Good, so as the pelvis comes around, feel like you gently press down through the feet to try and connect the back of the legs, but not to lift the bottom off. And keep the pressure down through the feet to keep the connection in the back of the legs. Good, so keep that going around and under and feel the stretch go through. Use the breath here, big breath in to go into that anterior tilt. Big breath out. So as the pelvis rocks under and over, you will feel there's like a cog on the side of the hip down here. And that cog is turning around to maneuver you at your hips to bring your lower back towards the mat, and to maneuver you at your hips to bring your lower back off the mat and come onto your tailbone more. So keep that going for one more time with your energetic breathing. Picturing that cog on the side of the hip so you don't force yourself from moving from your lower back instead. And then go back to what we call is neutral pelvis. If you have a look up, you'll be able to see that your pubic bone, your belly button, and your two hip bones are hopefully on the same plane. So same flat surface here. Okay, so you don't want your pubic bone a little bit lifted up. If it's like that, you're probably squeezing your sit bones together a little bit and gripping your hips. Let the sit bones relax and press into the feet a little more instead. Yeah, or if you're arching, you're really tight in your back. Yeah, so see if you can just let your tummy drop down, and you may feel like you have to pull your sit bones up to the back of your knees a little bit if you're more into an anterior tilt, which is where I normally go more. Okay, so you want to try and keep that flat plane, and then lower your head down. And I want you to try now to roll side to side. So you're rotating your pelvis side to side now. So you'll feel the hips lift on one side and come up to the ceiling and drop down on the other. And you can still picture that you're moving from down by your hips, lower down where the thigh and the hips meet, rather than again moving from your spine to make the movement. Keep checking in on yourself and making sure that you're not arching your back or flattening it to the floor. There is a little gap. Pressing down into the feet will help you keep your legs on, especially at the back of the legs. And I like to imagine that I'm moving from the back of my pelvis around rather than from the front. So getting nice and heavy and rolling side to side. Good, then from there the legs stay still. You're going to go into a clock. So find those 4 landmarks that you just found. So go to the side, over down to the tailbone, over to the other side of the hip, through so your lower back is on the mat, and around again. Good, so let's go 3 more times, breathing in and out, and in and out. Now let's go the other way. So roll over onto the left hip, down to that tailbone, around to the right and back through. So some people like to call it a clock. So you can go around to those 4 main points on the clock. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and back up again, all the way around last time, and back to where you're fairly flat. And then all you're going to do is roll into that first position that we tried, and then just start to roll the pelvis up, and you'll come all the way up into what we call the bridge position. So this is the pelvic curl. Press the arms down, press the feet, make sure your legs stay parallel, and then start to roll back down.
So as the arms press, you want to drop the ribs rather than the hips here. So the legs and the arms stay active to help you from not just pushing and dropping at your lower back and your hips area. So again, you can anteriorly tilt and really delve into that range through the pelvis, and then slide your sit bones up to the back of the knees. Feel the cog on the side of the hips start to roll around to pick the back of your legs up, the bottom, and bring you up. You should feel a stretch through the quads whilst they work, and quite a big strength work at the back of the hips. So the more you reach your knees over your toes, and the more you kind of turn that cog and pull the back of the legs right up to the hips, the more you'll get a stretch through the quadriceps and the front of the hip flexor area here. Press the arms down, you'll open up your chest, opening and working the chest and stretching it out, and then start to roll from that armpit axis and come down through the spine all the way, one vertebrae at a time, and then you're going to roll back up again. We're going to add a latissimus dorsi stretch, so they're big muscles in your back. You're going to breathe in to reach your arms back, and on your exhale you're going to slowly roll all the way back down. Good, arms come all the way over, mobilizing at that shoulder joint, and then working again from the side of the hips. You should start to feel your legs warm up. Breathe in, stretch and shrug those shoulders. Breath out and let your shoulder blades separate and the spine sink down through and onto the floor. One more time here. Good, and exhale, roll all the way back up. Keep elongating through the front of the legs and pulling all the way back up. We're trying to open the front of the hips, open the chest, press down, then let your shoulder blades separate and allow the spine and the ribs to imprint first, and then the rest of the spine all the way through until you come down until pelvis is neutral. Let's go for a little bit of a stretch for the side of the hips. So I'd like you to take your right thigh over your left and just bring the legs up and into the air to start, and just hug onto your shins and pull them in towards your chest. And you should feel a stretch on that right hip of that leg that's coming over. Good, take a couple of deep breaths in and out, and then just draw the leg away and take a scarecrow shape with your arm. If this is too hard, then you can just press the arms out to a T or a little bit further down beside you. I like the scarecrow because it really opens up my chest. And you're just going to roll over to the side, trying to keep that right shoulder blade down completely, and come back to that start position. And again, over to the left. Remember that movement we did right at the beginning of the session where we looked at the clocks and we rolled the hips and rotated them side to side? Well, basically that's what you're doing here, except your feet are off the ground. The thighs are just resting in towards you, and you're rolling to the side with your pelvis, pressing the shoulders down, especially that opposite one. Don't let it come off. All the way back, and hold where you are. Take yourself all the way back over again and hold. Press your hand down on your thigh and bring that leg over and take a couple of deep breaths in and out. You're really trying to press that opposite shoulder down whilst you press that leg over to stretch all the way down the side of the hip here. One more time. Big breath in, aim for 5. And out for 6. Good, and then slowly bring yourself back up. Take that right ankle and take it just in front of the left thigh and bring your hands through, and then take yourself into more of a glute stretch now. So we're stretching around the side and into the bottom of that right hip. To make it a little bit stronger, you can press your right knee away as you try and bring your left leg over. It's quite common to kind of twist your hips here, so just take a look and make sure that they're square, and then You want to try and get the length from the back of the ribs all the way under to that knee as you bend and try and bring it forward and press the other knee away. Good, and then extend that left leg out long and take the right leg up to the ceiling. You're going to take hold with your other hand, so your left hand as the right leg's in the air, and the right arm's going to go out to a T, and I want you to take the leg across and bring it back. If you're strong enough, both your arms are down now. You take it across and bring it back up, and across and bring it back up. Good, one more. Holding over. Take a breath in. You can take hold of it. If you're flexible enough, you can try and bring that leg around to the opposite shoulder. If you need to bend the knee to do that, please do. Go to a range that suits your body and then come back up with the leg and then out to the side for an inner thigh stretch and up again. And of course, I'm quite a flexible person, so yours might look a little bit different than mine, which is totally fine. And you may have a slight bend in the knee. If you're really struggling and you have a TheraBand at home, you can always put that around your foot and you can hold on, and that will just give you that extra assistance, because this is quite a strong abdominal workout here for you as well. If you feel comfortable, you may have to contract forward. You can take hold of your leg now and bring it across. I like to look the opposite way to help me stay balanced, pressing down, so I'm really working my back and my shoulders. Then bring the leg back up, and you're going to take hold behind either your calf, your knee, wherever you can get to, and then bring that leg over. Again, it's really common to kind of hike the hip and lift the tailbone and kind of end up a little bit distorted through the neck and shoulders. So lengthen through the tail, lengthen through the crown of the head, and then as you try and draw your leg over, think about from the back of the ribs kind of sweeping length through and up to the heel. So rather than pulling the heel, imagine it comes from the back of your body as it dives that leg over towards you. Good, 2 more breaths here. 1 more time. Good, and then slowly bring that leg down and we change over. Take your left leg and cross it over your right. Here we go again, little lift. And your hands to that scarecrow position. Roll your pelvis over to the right now and back up. A little bit more sticky for me on this side. I can feel it straight away. So I really have to focus actually on my left side. I just want to hike and crunch. So you may be similar. You just have to think about maybe even looking up every now and again. But again, that lovely cue that I suggested of finding length from the base of the ribs all the way around and under to the back of the knees is a beautiful one, and it will help to keep you stable and equal on both hips. Good, 2 more times. Keep that breathing flowing. Hold it over. Take hold with the hand and press that leg over. Look into the opposite direction to help you balance, pushing it down. You can always put your feet down at any time if it becomes too much. Take yourself over as far as you can go and then bring your leg back. Good. Take the left ankle in front of the right thigh. Take the hands through. Check to make sure that you're not skew. So make sure you've got nice equal hips. And then head comes back down and draw that right knee over as you use your hand or your elbow to press the left knee away. You're thinking about lengthening out through the tail, lengthening out through the crown of the head. And again, we're finding that length on that right underneath side, sweep around and up to the back of the knees. 2 more big breaths here. Last one. Good. Lower that right leg down now, slide it out long, and then take hold of the right leg. The arm's going to go out to a T. You take the leg across and bring it back up. And again, the leg goes across the body. Good. And bring it back up. It's okay if the hip wants to lift here. If you want to keep it down and try what it feels like with it down, you may have to assist it like I am and press that hip as it draws over. Good. Try it without an arm. Good. And last time, hold it over. Give it a breather. Press it across. Look in the opposite direction to help you stay stable. Last time. Bring your leg up. Take the leg out to the other direction and raise it up. Good. So again, you don't have to necessarily use your hand to help the leg if you feel strong enough. Keep working that leg out long on the ground to keep you lovely and stable. For 2. Keep the breathing going. Last one, hold it out. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out, stretching that inner thigh. Last one. Look the opposite way if you're quite flexible and you have to really work hard to keep the other side down. Then bring the leg back up. Little bend in the elbows and draw that leg over. Again, you're trying to find that length underneath. Bringing the leg all the way over. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Well done. Good. Then you're going to lift the right leg back up again. Take the arms out to a T and let's do our leg circles. You're going to breathe in to take the leg across, around and back. Let's do it without the hip roll to start. So take the leg over, around and through. Good. So over, around and through. Good. One more this way. And then the other way, breathing in to circle, breathing out to circle, breathing in and out. And let's do one other side with a rock of the pelvis. So again, that rock's coming back into it. You breathe in, you roll the pelvis and you take the leg across. And then the other way, you roll. Good. And the other leg is nice and strong and down on the ground. And you lower that leg and you lift the other one. Okay, take the leg across, breath in and out. Last one. Good, and go the other way. Keeping the opposite leg down, trying to keep a nice stable pelvis. Last one. Add the rock. Rock the pelvis, turn the leg. And the other way, rock the pelvis, turn the leg and up. Good, really good one, multi-directional movement for the hip there. Really great. As we age, our hips can get really stuck and we tend to just sit in 1 or 2 regular positions. So multi kind of directional movement at the hip is important for your hip health and to prevent things like arthritis and those typical kind of aging things that happen for all of us. Let's do a little bit of a roll over here. So some of you may feel like that you just want to keep your legs bent, and some of you may feel like you can keep your legs straight. So we're not going to do a big roll over. We're just kind of let the legs fold in, lift the pelvis and roll back down. So use the arms to really assist, press the arms, lift the chest and roll back down. Good. So if you're needing to use a little bit more momentum and you want to just have a bent leg version, that's perfectly fine. Coming up into this lovely inverted position is a really nice way to release that diaphragm. If you'd like to try a full roll over, then you can take yourself all the way over and then you slowly roll that shape back again. And one more time, take yourself all the way over and slowly roll that shape back again. Good, and let's grab our hand towel now. So we're going to do a little series here, really nice one to release the neck and shoulders. So let's lay ourselves down and place the hand towel just behind the base of the skull here, and the elbows will be forward, and then lay yourself down on the mat. Okay, so you're just going to have a little roll around with your hips and feel that they're nice and stable. The legs are stretched out from the pelvis, and you can either have your feet pointed, don't go crazy with a point, or a little flex, whatever feels most natural. And then you're just going to hover the face and curl your neck and come up and mainly work those upper abdominal muscles. And then you're going to roll all the way back down. You're going to hover the head, remove the towel, stretch, so pull the towel apart and bring the arms over. Pull the towel apart, bend the elbows, hover the head and roll forward and back. You're pressing the head into the towel at all times, and the towel comes up and into your head. Good, bring the towel in. So try that, head into towel, towel into head, and then roll your neck and curl forward, all the way back. Using the breathing, inhale and exhale. Breathing in and hover. And again. And we're going to try a roll up now. So, breathing in to roll forward. Exhale, let's roll all the way up. Stretch the towel forward behind your legs. Bend your knees and draw your trunk over. Good, then stretch the arms out. And then roll just like you did your pelvic curl from that cog on the side of the hip, and roll your spine all the way back down again. Hover off the head. Good. Curl yourself forward. Roll yourself back. Hover off the head. Bring your arms over. Bring your arms back. Lifting the head. Head into hands. Hand into head. Roll and come all the way over. And don't worry if you find this a very difficult exercise. It is. So don't stress if you're still trying to figure out how to do that movement in the hip rather than just constantly over bending at the spine. Yeah, so keep working on that. Let's just bring our arms forward. Take the arms back, place it underneath the head, and over we come again. And reach. Pull yourself forward and hold. Get a lovely stretch. Reach the arms out and then start to roll all the way back again. We're going to add in a little bit of an oblique version now. So bring the arms over. Take the arms back. Lift your head. Bring the hands through. Start to roll over to the right outside border of your ankle. Reach the arms. Pull yourself towards the right side of your ankle. Stretch the arms away and roll yourself back. Push that towel apart. Let's go to the same side again. Breathing in to raise the... take the towel behind the head. Forgot the part that's the most assisted. And roll up on the exhale all the way over. Stretch yourself forward to the outside border of the right ankle. Come forward, reach, and press back. Good, let's do the other side. Bring the arms over, hover the head, towel comes under, and roll to the left side of the ankle. All the way forward, reach the arms, take the towel behind the feet, pull yourself over to the left leg, Reach the arms and roll yourself back. Keep the tension in the towel. Good. Arms come forward. Arms go back. Last one. Under we go. And all the way up. Aiming to go to the left side of your ankles. Pull yourself forward. Reach out and rolling back. Beautiful. Leave the towel where it is. Let's breathe in to hover. Take the arms forward and roll over your legs now. Good. So hold for a breath. Take a deep breath in and out. Last one. Can you take your legs just that little bit wider than your hips? Let's do a spine stretch. Let's take the hands on your thighs. Now you may want to grab your towel or your blanket now. Don't have it too high. So if you're quite tight in the hips or very tight in the back of the legs, you'll need to kind of prop yourself up, which will make it a lot easier for you to sit here for a little while. Okay? So take your hands down on your thighs now. Lift your chest bone up. Think about there's that axis under the armpit, and like you've got braces on, you're lifting that up. So we'll look at this in a minute with our extension part of the exercise. Okay, and then the arms can just rest on your thighs. Think about how you rocked your body forward when you had the towel behind your head. So take a deep breath in. And on your breath out, rock the face down, bend at the neck, roll at the spine like you're going up and over something. And roll your body forward all the way down between your legs if you can get there. And then from your hips, and then the base of the spine, and then the mid-spine, all the way past the shoulder blades, the neck until the crown of the head is back on top. Good, and we go back down again. So rolling all the way forward. Let your body tumble in the direction that it's going in. All the way down. Hold down for a lovely stretch. Take a breath in. And exhale and roll all the way back up. Good. Then take both your hands on the right leg and roll all the way down now. Draw yourself over and up. You may feel a QL stretch on your opposite hip now, and rolling forward. Take a moment to enjoy the stretch. You may also be feeling it at the back of your legs, and rolling back up. Then let's bring the soles of our feet together. You can stay on the towel if that's more comfortable for you. And let's go do a stretch for the hips here. So I want the soles of your feet touching, and you're going to hold on to the toes, and you're going to go into a flat back and then try and pivot yourself forward over, keeping as flat as you can through your back. Yeah, and taking a couple of deep breaths in and out. 2 more. Keeping a lovely long line through the spine. Good, and roll yourself back up. Okay, just sitting into what we call a Z sit. If this feels too uncomfortable for you, then you can go back to being in this position. But otherwise, let's go for your Z sit position and take your arms out and do a side reach. So we're going to have our left knee out and our right shin towards the mat, towards that way, and you're going to breathe in to tip, bend the elbow, and all the way over. Come back up and sit tall. And that's wrong. It's your right knee and your left shin, because you're opposite to me. Take a deep breath in, bend the elbow and tumble yourself over and hold. So think that you're like a pot of tea, and the T is dribbling out and down that spout through the top of the head, tumbling it up and over. That's it. Then you take your arms to a T, and so you don't grip on this upper body, think about trying to soften it and then sit tall. And the stronger you can keep your pelvis down on that ground, the less you'll grip through that hip to come back up. Let the spine bend up and over and really cascade it over. Pull the shoulder blade around to the tip of your little finger. Come to a T and sit tall. Let's change sides. So it's your left knee that's bent now, out to the side, and the right shin facing the wall. You're going to breathe in to tip, soften the elbow, and take your body up and over. The hand or the arm will feel like it comes just in front of your palm, and your side of your face, and you want to look straight ahead the whole time. Then take your arms to a T and back up again. Good, so we tip over to a T, you soften the underneath elbow, you turn the arm and bring it up and over. It's quite common to turn your chest around, but look through the window that your arm is making and literally bend your spine over to a T and lift. Last one. And sitting tall. Beautiful. A little bit of rolling like a ball now. So I want you to keep your self just behind your sit bones, and then see if you can lift one foot off and take it down, and the other foot off and take it down. Now see if you can lift both of your feet and take them down, and both of them and down. Now you're quite stretched out now, so you should feel comfortable just to hold your heels and your big toes towards each other. Your knees are in line with your shoulders, and you're going to try and bring your head down. And then just like at the beginning with the imprint with the pelvis here, that is the shape that you're holding. You're going to inhale, roll back, exhale, roll up. Inhale, roll, exhale, roll. So look down to your tummy, and if you need help in come up, you can utilize the look up with your eyes. So you look down to help you roll, and you look up to help you roll up. You look down and you look up. Your arms are very active here. You're pulling those sit bones up to the back of the knees. You're breathing in and out, and you're trying to stay around in a ball, and eventually you won't need to look up. You'll feel like you can roll and keep your head in. Last little massage for the spine, all the way around and come up onto your knees. Beautiful. Let's grab hold of our towel again, our hand towel. Okay, so make sure it's rolled up a reasonable amount, so it's nice and thick, so you can feel it underneath your hips now. So lay it down and put the creases of your hips down and on top of that towel for me. And just hold here and take a couple of deep breaths in and out. I want you to really press those creases of your hips down onto that towel as much as you can. Really pushing down. And then take your hands and bring them just underneath your shoulders here. And you're going to keep pushing your hips down on that towel. Your legs are together. And you're going to breathe in to slide your face forward and lift up. Just a little half lift. And then come back down. If anyone's finding that this position is just a little bit too much for you at the moment, you can either come to a diamond shape with your hands and your arms, or you can take the arms that little bit wider. Otherwise, if you haven't tried it, put your hands in underneath your shoulders, draw your shoulder blades together and down, press your hips into the mat, and inhale, start to slide your nose forward and lift up, straight up, and stretch those arms if you can. and then slowly lower and slide your body through the window of your shoulders. Keep pressing the hips, nose forward, stretch the arms, draw the shoulder blades together and down, lift the head up to the ceiling. Good. Okay, and we're going to go into a quad stretch now. So just bend your right foot in and take hold of it with your right hand. Bring your left arm around. Okay, and then all you're going to do is hover the back of your right leg up, pressing the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot, and try and bring that foot over towards the leg. You're still pressing your creases of your hips down into that mat or into that towel. Good, couple more breaths. And let it go a little bit. And then again, foot and hand into each other, drawing the leg over, hovering the leg. And then if you'd like to come up, pressing up into the stretch. So push the foot up, press the hand into the foot, lifting that chest, stretching the front of the shoulder and the hip and quad, and then come all the way back down. Let's do the other side. So again, take hold of the foot if you can get the ankle. So the first thing is to just press the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot and coerce the foot over towards your bottom. You're trying to hover the left leg off the floor whilst you keep pressing your hips down on the mat. That's quite important. Otherwise, you'll just arch in your lower back as you try. Yeah, and then let it go a little bit. And try again. Lift the leg up, press the hips down, pull that foot over. Deep breaths. And let's take it up into the bigger stretch. If you'd like to, press the foot and use that arm and pull it over. Open the front of the shoulder, pull that leg over and let the leg come back down. Good. And then just press yourself back into a rest pose. You can move your little towel out of the way now and just reaching those arms forward. Couple of breaths. Reaching the arms forward, reaching the pelvis back. Having a little wiggle and a roll. Let's do Kathy Grant's picture cat. So from here, you're going to lift the tail up into the air and slide your hands forward and lift the chest. So you're really kind of stretching out through the shoulders and all the way back down. Good, and again, the bottom starts to raise up. Press the shins down, slide the arms forward and lift the chest up. Oh, big stretch for those shoulders and all the way back. Really good. For stress release, we tend to carry a lot of tension through neck and shoulders when we're stressed. So lift the tailbone up, elongate the head away from the tail and lift up. Beautiful. And coming back and over onto all fours now. Good. Let's do a cat stretch. So take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's curl our tail and our head around towards each other. Push down through the ground with the shins and the hands. And keep pushing down, because what is down is what will stabilize you. So your spine and hips and shoulders can be more mobile and get the stretch. And exhale, you curl your tail and head around, pressing what is down. Good. And inhale out into your extension. And let's go into thread the needle. So take right arm out, breathe in, push the ground away, reach up. Exhale, take the right arm forward, bend, take the head down and lift the left arm up, look up to the left arm. Take the left hand on the ground, push it away, reach the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Good, and come back through. Lift that left hand up. Bring the left hand onto the right hand. Draw the right arm through and hold and breathe. Square those hips up. One more. Left hand down. Use that tricep and pull yourself back up again. Good, okay. We've got our left arm out. You reach up to the ceiling, press down with the right arm and stretch through. Lift that right arm up and push. Good, push down. Use those arm muscles to bring you all the way back up. Good, and reach up to the ceiling, pushing away and all the way through. Let the head rest. Reach the arm up. Then take hold of it and draw that arm through. Use that right hand to try and pull it around that little bit more. Keeping those hips square. One more big breath here. Right hand goes down all the way up and just bring your right knee through and stretch your left leg and right leg out. And then all you're going to do is breathe in to bend the right leg, breathe out to stretch, and breathing in, and both legs stretch. And you can bring that body over. Good, last one, and over. Take that right leg back in your pyramid, pike up, and reach the heels down, and lift. And reach, left leg goes forward. Good, so bending forward into that stretch and both your legs stretch. And reach. And reach. Last one. You should feel quite stretched out now. Good, take that leg back. Pike yourself through. Push your hands onto the ground. Press those heels. Let the chest drop through. And take a big jump and bring your feet forward. Bottom up to the ceiling, head down. Hold on to your elbows, let your weight tumble forward, bend the knees off a little bit. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Last one. Let the hands go. And start to roll from your hips. Really essential, the movement comes from the hips. So it's not your back just pushing up. And then rolling through the spine once the hips have rolled all the way up to standing lovely and tall. You're going to breathe in to lift the chest and out. One more time. Big breath in and out. And you're done. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the session and you feel wonderful.